All right, let's get straight to it. 2014 Chevy Cruze. This is the 1.4 liter engine. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There's a 6th one, but we already changed this one before, so we won't be changing that one. And for some reason, the kit didn't come with the top heater core hose. It only came with the bottom one, so we won't be changing that top heater core hose. The reason why I recommended for these hoses to be changed, I changed this water outlet for them before, and you can, after changing it, I noticed how old these hoses were, and they were real soft, like they was getting ready to break apart. So I recommended to change all the hoses, and we got these off of Amazon. They weren't that expensive, so it was a good deal, and I'm not even charging to change the hoses. So let's go ahead and get these done. So you have this small hose here that goes from here to this pipe down here, and that's going to be this one that we're going to need for there. Then there's this upper hose here that's connected to this water outlet that goes down to the radiator right there. We're gonna have to get that off. So let's go ahead and take this battery terminal off. Just use a 10mm to loosen this up, and then you should be able to take off the negative terminal. And now we have to push this red tab back on this harness, and then you should be able to press down and pull this harness off of here. Just like that. Now we can remove this tube out of the way by loosening that hose clamp with a flathead or 8mm. I'm just gonna go ahead and use a flathead, reach down in there, and I'll loosen that, and we can remove this from off of that throttle body. All right, so now that we are down here, we can start with the easy one. So let's go ahead and remove this hose clamp and this part of the hose here, and that will give us better access to remove this one. So don't put this one on yet. We're going to remove them both, and hopefully we can get this one on, and then the new one, and then the new one on for this. So let's go ahead and remove this hose clamp here and this one down here, and get this whole piece here off. All right, so I have the old hose off, and I put the old clamps onto the new one. Just in case you didn't have new clamps, you can reuse the old ones. And before I put this on though, because it's just gonna get in the way, I'm gonna go ahead and remove this part of the hose first. So let's get this hose clamp off and remove this part of the old hose. Look at all that down in this old hose. I don't even know what all that is, but it's a good thing we're taking this hose out and we're changing these hoses. So like I said earlier, it looked like someone at one point poured oil or something down into the radiator or something, because it seems like everything is all gunked up that has to do with the coolant. So this is pretty strange. I'm sure no one's going to admit to that though. So now we have to get down here and get to that hose clamp down there. So that's the hardest one so far. All right, so this is when a hose clamp tool like this will come in handy. This is what we're going to need. So this goes on the side of the hose clamp and tightens down as you squeeze that that plier handle. It will tighten down and squeeze the hose clamp, because there's no other way to really get down in here the way that's orientated. There's no way to get down in there without moving a lot of parts. So I'm going to try to use this first to get down in there. All right, so I got the hose out, so I want to show you how I got it. So this hose clamp is in there awkward like that, and you really can't get in there with the pliers. So that's what this tool is for. So I was able to go up underneath just like that and latch it on there, and as you pull and you squeeze the handle, then this part here ratchets up a little bit, and until it squeezes this like your pliers would, and you can see how it's holding it on there. So right now this is actually being held open. So I actually decided to make it easier on myself, and instead of putting it on the way it came out, I'm putting it on with it facing here. So this way I'll be able to get a wrench down in there, a regular pliers down in there, and squeeze that with some pliers and push it all the way on now. So now you can see that this hose clamp is on now, and it's facing straight up, so it's easy to get to it if I need to get to it in the future, unlike it was before. It was sideways. Okay, so now we have this side on, so that takes care of this hose completely. So that is the upper radiator hose that we just changed. Now we can go ahead and put this small piece back on, this one right here that we already have loaded with the old hose clamp. So let's go ahead and put this piece on now. All right, guys, well, that's it. That's how you change your upper radiator hose on a 2014 Chevy Cruze.